workshop perfecting your resume. It is really good also that I don't know if you guys remember the first day that we had class orientation. Not everyone was here, but we have a career coach. And he came and he talked to us. His name is Brandon Flores. I am not sure if he'll be our career coach the entire program, but you guys do have a career coach. And it's always great to contact them, he or she, to ask questions about resumes, to know more about inputs and insights and questions, or if you have any doubts on how to write, help and guidance for that. So this is the opening of our session for this evening. In which section of a resume do you describe the experiences of your first job? So we're going to review a little bit what we did, what you guys did in Canvas. And so can someone put in the chat, or you can unmute yourself? Can someone let me know in which section of a resume do you describe the experiences of your first job? Someone should remember.
In your work experience?
Wow, yes, you got it, Helena. Yes, in your experience and training, work experience, you are correct. Thank you. So the next question, what should you not include? I'm sorry? Danielle, did you say something? All right, so I'm going to mute. Yes, thank you. So what should you not include in your resume? So you can write on the chat some of the ideas that or things that you believe it should not be in your resume. Picture, very good.
Confidential stuff like social security.
Oh, absolutely not. That's correct. Jesus said the skills that don't have to do with the position that you were applying for. All right, photo, not address. You know, Sylvia has a very good point in here about not writing the address. I think a smart thing to do would be for you to write the city and that you are in and the zip code if you want to. I like when I was living in Fort Lauderdale, I just put Fort Lauderdale and my email address and my phone number. So do not put your entire address. It's not necessary. And also your resume is out there. So you are also protecting a little bit more of your privacy as well. Date of birth, that is correct. Not race, not age, very good. Things not relevant to the job, but definitely not age, not picture, not race, not marital status. Yes, that's a good one too. No hobbies. Yes, no political interest for sure, right? You don't want to be burned and get burned in the beginning because we all take positions on that. And all right, that's excellent. Very good. So I see that a lot of people have done a lot of the things on Canvas as well. No religion, no income. Those are all very good points. Let's see here what Jay said. In my experience, I don't even put the city because people assume how far you were willing to commute. You know, this is a very good one. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. When I used to live in South Florida, I used to live in the suburbs of Fort Lauderdale, which was Plantation. It's a funny name, but actually Plantation, it's because there are a lot of trees in the city. So it always had a weird connotation. So before I even moved there, I Googled and I wanted to check what was the history. So it is a small city with 100,000 inhabitants that has a lot of trees. So they gave that name. But I was always a little bit concerned about that. So I talked to my career coach in generation when I went through my program. And he told me that for me to remove that actually and just write Fort Lauderdale, which was just 20 minutes away. Also, because there are a lot of more jobs in Fort Lauderdale. So people would not, it would not deter employers to contact me. So if you live close to a main city, just if you want, you can add the main city that you live in. So if you do not want to leave that area, also, you also have, it encloses more the contacts that you guys are going to have. It closes more the any kind of misunderstanding also of where you live. Yes, Tracy, go ahead. You have a question?
No, I was just saying because I also live in South Florida, and it's
Oh,
like down here they have this weird thing about commuting. But I'm from the Northeast where we commute an hour, and
right.
that's totally normal. And so I had Miami because I was living in Miami at the time in my resume, but I was interested in this job from Boca. And the guy he called me, he was like, I was very hesitant to call you because
Yeah,
of the commute. And I was like, it's 40 minutes. It's not that big of a deal, but he actually
yeah.
wound up never calling me back, even though he said he really like my resume and everything. But I guess he's had poor experience with other people commuting, so it was just like I didn't even get a chance.
And that is a real thing. Yes, and employees do that. So if by any chance, okay, that's one suggestion. It's not that you have to do that. It is a suggestion, and if you feel like it's a good idea in your case, do it. If not, don't do it. If you really want to work in that area, for example, Boca Raton, like he mentioned, just write Boca Raton. If you think, now, if you have the personal responsibility to be there before the time it starts for work, if you can handle the commute, if you see there is no problem at all, just put the city that you want to work in. And actually, when I talked to my career coach, he mentioned that as well. So I changed my city and I put Fort Lauderdale because it was the area that I wanted to be in. Now I moved to Orlando, so I'm back here. I used to live here for many years and I'm back here. So now my resume will say Orlando because we always have to update our resume in LinkedIn as well. So I'll be doing that soon because I just moved recently. So let me see here what else you guys wrote on the chat. Oh, I see here, Jesus. Yeah. Yes, there are some companies that have branches and they ended up forwarding. So if by any chance you know that they do that, and if you want to go or do not, just write the city that you want to be in or if the city that you want to work in. I think that is easier than writing a generic city like South Florida, for example. There are so many small cities in here. So you can close in the area that you want to be in. And so another question, why is it important to tailor your resume to the specific job that you're applying for? Any ideas? Anyone? Why is it important to tailor your resume to the specific job you are applying for? Because the programs that scan resumes are searching for specific words, and you want to get as many hits matches as possible, like Michelle said. ATS, exactly. Does anyone know what ATS is? If you don't know, it is an applicant tracking system. It is by AI, artificial intelligence, and they match the words from your resume. So it's a computer search thing. When you apply, most companies do this nowadays, the ATS, and they scan for the matching qualifications, matching words with your resume. Helena, because that is the skills that employer is looking for, the company is looking for specific skills. All right, very good. Each job has different skill sets and experience that you need to be successful, exactly. And there comes the role of ATS, which is the artificial intelligence that scan your resume. Yes, Tekenat, do you have a question?
I know you're, I wanted to add to it, but you've said it. I wanted to say that every job has the required skill sets and the required knowledge set. So once you don't have that, it won't really go well. That was what I got from the scan, job scan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd done it. I just did, I did engineering.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just did it to see how it will be. I just got to know of job scan from Generation.
Yes.
And you know, when they did the analysis and sent it back to me, I was so happy. I was like, yes.
Oh, that is so great.
Yeah, because if you say, yes, you're a network engineer and you did not state that you can use, you can configure Cisco routers and switches.
Yes.
Yeah, so when he did that, I just laughed and I said, yeah, it's true. I need to have these certifications and skill sets for me to get. So now that you talked about the ATS, which is the applicant tracking system. Is it application or applicant? Is the application or applicant tracking system, the ATS?
Yeah, that scans your resume.
Yeah. Is it application or applicant tracking system?
Yes, it is applicant.
Okay, good.
Yes, applicant tracking system.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason why most persons would apply for a job and they didn't get back to me. They didn't get back to me because of the skill sets are not tailored towards what they want, and this one gets it right. Thank you. So
yeah, this is a problem that many of us encounter, and that's why it's very important that you tailor closest to what they are looking for. And really check the mission of the company, the values of the company. And this is a good trick if you do not have experience or the skills that they are looking for. Check what is the mission of the company, what is the value of the company, because for example, I have got jobs like that. I didn't before. I did not have these necessary skills, but my values matched with the company. So I wrote a very good thorough a letter to them with my resume of why I wanted that job, why I was confident that I could perform well in that position. And I got hired with no skills. It really surprised me. It was very interesting. Of course, they might have seen things in me or past experiences that could be helpful. So overall, they decided to bet on me. So it worked out. So it was a good experience overall. So thank you for your input, Tekenet.
Yes, then we've not looked at the first one, sorry, which says, in which section of the resume do you describe the experiences of your first job? I think we didn't really note that down.
Let me see here, 1 second, where I was.
Thank you.
It's going, 1 second, let me stop sharing and check. So we wanted to know where was the experience in training section, or where was the question? Let me share this slide with you again and see if that's what you were asking.
Good, the first one.
In which section of a resume do you describe the experiences of your first job?
Good.
That is an experience in training.
Yes, but in which, okay, experience in training.
Yes. All right, so moving forward. So we will reinforce and review knowledge from sessions 1 and 2 from Canvas, and receive and provide peer feedback on tailored resumes. Why, anyone can tell me, why is it good to provide peer feedback on everything, not only resume, on everything?
Peer feedback can keep you in check.
Because
And
you can check.
it can keep you in check, and it can make you,
Oh, yes.
it can make you weigh yourself and see if you're on the right track or not.
Absolutely. Yes, Helen, thank you. And especially, and it has to be constructive, because not everything sometimes is good, or it can be excellent, and you are going to be honest and constructive feedback. It's essential for growth, for your peers to be able to grow. So it is important that you, like here in Generation, we mention growth and glows. So the peer feedback should have the glows, what is really good, really interesting in a resume, what you found was helpful to you, what your peer did that was really good, and growth, where you think they could grow more, and they should add more of an experience, or more, elaborate more certain aspects, and so on. So it is very important to give feedbacks overall. And that's what we're going to do here with this section. You can learn from each other, like Deepa says. And because peers can catch something that you might have missed, or they may have a different approach. Exactly, that's a good one as well. Thank you. In order to improve the weakness, Danielle wrote. Absolutely, that's a very good one. And like Kayla said, it gives you the opportunity to see yourself in a different viewpoint. And that's why, folks, it's so important to give constructive feedback. You know, sometimes we want to please, we don't want to hurt someone. Some people get offended easily, but here, just know that it is for growth. We all want to grow. We all want to improve ourselves. We all want to do better. So it is important that we get good feedback. So it's all about growing and learning more. To know how it looks to other people, if something is not clear. Okay, several good points in here. I know Elizabeth also mentioned something very good. If you miss something, and yeah, and that's what it is, guys. You got it. And so here is our agenda for this evening. We have the opening, we have the discussion, the common questions and concerns, we have the tailoring and job scan debrief, about 10 minutes. We have the tailoring for industry-specific requirements. At 5 minutes, we have the peer review. I believe Chad will do this section with you guys. Then we have the debrief and the closing. So here are some common questions and concerns that we all have. So take a minute, guys, and think, what are the common questions and concerns that you guys have, that you can have for preparing a resume? Some of the top concerns that you all have, or things that you would like to bring up or to discuss about tailoring your resume. So take a minute to think about it. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. So you can think about it, and you can write, or you can write on in your notes, or you can write on the chat, and we can discuss a little bit about that. So I see that some people are already writing here on the chat. Not having a degree, having gaps. We discussed a lot about gaps in here in previous cohorts. How to make my resume stand out. How to make a resume stand out. I have a couple of options for you. I'm not a specialist in resume by all means, but I do a lot of research, and I research about the company that I want to work for to get the wordings that they use, the skills that they are looking for, everything that they look for and what they are about. And I also research articles about the company as well, because we never know what they are up to, especially in IT. If they launched a new gadget, if they launched a new software, if they are at the moment working with a different language, a different code language, or if they are doing some kind of project. So it's always good to search about this company. And then I go and I try to, with my lack of experience in IT, I try to fulfill the most I can to what they are searching and desiring in the employee to add to my resume, and I tailored for that. And you guys can always reach the second suggestion for that. You guys can always reach out to your career coach. No degree is, if you guys have certifications, especially in IT, that can really make up for a lot of the situation as well. A lot of employees do look, employers, do look for your certification more than anything. Sometimes in IT especially, it's more important than a degree. Industry change, that is, you mean, so Tamara, do you mean change of jobs? Is that what you mean, careers, change of careers?
Yeah, like totally different industries. So
Yes, a lot
no.
of people have that concern as well. Yeah, so a lot of people come up with the question about, I'm changing industries, what should I do if I don't have experience? Do not discard all the experience that you had in previous jobs, especially customer service. You'd be blown away how many IT companies value that so much. And that's why Generation focus so much in behavioral behavior skills, because, and we're teaching you guys here, and Suba is going to teach one soon, because employers do look for that. And employers also know that Generation offered this training to you guys. They know that Generation prepares you guys for the soft skills. So all this is definitely important. So let me see here. What else you guys have in concerns? Okay, I see questions about certification. This is a good question for a career coach, because they are specialized in all this and the certifications as well. Well, I can say by my search here for Jonathan that in IT, certifications hold a lot of weight. It depends on what they are looking for. Certain certifications hold more weight than the degree. You can have a degree, but if you don't know how to code Python, and they need someone that specifically has experience in Python, yes, it could be, although Python does not have certification, but the experience. But you can go out there and get some schooling in very short time, for example, that gives you a certification that you succeed in Python, for example. Let's see what else. Work experience where an employer was not always professional and might give less than positive reference to a potential employer. Yeah, do not, yeah, we always got to be careful with that. You know, in reference, I think the best way is always leaving your previous job in good relationship with, and because that is out of our control. We can only do our best and hope for the best, really, guys. So, and you can also, before you leave, you can always ask for letters of reference. I have done that through my school, for example. I have done that to previous jobs, and I had managers that they were willing to give it to me. And I had people that offered, and before I even asked, and I said, yes, I would love that. And I have this, although it's really outdated by now, I have until today, I have in a folder some reference letters that I keep until today because they were so nice anyway, so I keep it. But I think for nowadays, they're a little bit old, like it was from 2000 back in the days. How can we contact the career coach? As of right now, we have Brandon Flowers. Here? I am not sure if he is going to be the same coach or not yet. So we need to update you guys on that. Yes, Antoine, include your LinkedIn profile. This employers check on everything. Add a link to your resume. There is in your LinkedIn profile, if you don't know about that, instead of using the long link, you can add it and put your name in it. For example, Melody Cooper, LinkedIn, it becomes much shorter, and you you copy and paste to your resume, and so employers can check on that. I think it's a very wise thing to do, and Generation recommends you to do that. Yes, a lot of collegiate programs in IT come with certifications, very true. Here, Chad says that you can DM him on Slack. I would do that too. I would use Slack for everything, like we have discussed in here. Ask questions on Slack, but also remember to scroll up and see if that question was not already asked 3-4 times, guys. All right, so a lot of good points in here. So moving up, tailoring and job scan the brief. I think it's getting to the time that Chad is going to start introducing the lesson, the other part of the lesson. But I just want to do something really quick in here. Let me see, yeah. Let me show something to you guys here really quick. Has anyone, I'm now sharing the job scan page, okay? So I hope everyone had the opportunity to look at job scan already and already start your first scan. I believe Generation students have for free for 1 year. The career coach usually confirms that, but if I'm not mistaken, it is for 1 year. So take advantage, again, guys, take advantage of everything the Generation offers. You guys will be learning a lot more now with the weeks coming by. So I'll look at Jonathan. He already got 5 free scans. That's excellent. That's great. You are on top of things. Good for you. So here it's where you upload your resume. And here is where TechNet, you had asked the question about the ATS. Here's an example of what employers do. They scan. So you can paste it in here. You can copy and paste in here the job description. Okay, and
Carmen, you're not sharing your screen.
how about now?
Just came now.
Oh, okay, sorry about that, guys. So I was just here in job scan, and this is the home page. So you upload your resume, and then you paste the job description that you were looking for in here, and you click scan, and then you have an idea of what employers do. So that is one good way for you guys to have an idea of how you would perform. And then you can tailor that to better suit that position that the employer is looking for.
Yes, that's quite good.
And here you have a little bit more in LinkedIn that you can explore.
Yeah, say you have 5 opportunities, 5 scans, and afterwards.
Who said that? I'm sorry, I cannot see right now. Oh, TechNet, was you?
Yes.
You had 5?
No, it's saying just 5 scans that you have.
Yes, that you have for free.
Since it's free, it's free accounts we had.
Yeah, this for me, it's not as a student mode.
Okay.
So I do have only.
You have 5
scans
too.
left.
It's still 5.
Yeah, I only have 5. So
Me
yeah.
too. So now I have 4 left. I haven't used
Okay.
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that would be a good question for the career coach. If it is good for so long, how can you use more scans, or if the scans will be updated after?
Okay.
Because it is for you guys. Now, in my view in here, I am not as a student. I am just as a guest, so to speak, on the site. So I definitely only have 5 left. So if by any chance I'll teach you a little trick. If by any chance you only have 5 scans left, sign out from JobScan and sign in with a different email address and do a practice there. And then you have another 5. That's just a little trick to beat the system. And so, but I think you can get in a much better situation with as a generation student, because now when you guys see the platforms, the generation pay for you guys, it's so interesting. Like a Cloud Guru is going to be a totally different experience than Coursera. You have JobScan, you have templates in JobScan that you can use. You have Handshake for jobs and so on. And you have a lot of resources and help that you guys can use here, which is excellent. And I believe now is Chad's turn. Am I correct, Chad? Is it your turn now? Chad, are you there?
Sorry. I forgot I have myself on mute.
I think I hear your voice somewhere. I just don't see you. Let me see.
Okay, give me one moment. I'll switch audio sources.
Oh, I see you. Yeah, it's just your voice, for me at least, that is very far. But so guys, thank you so much for all your participation. It was so many good comments, so many good questions. It was really good to interact and see all your concerns and all your inputs. It was excellent. And now Chad is just getting ready and he's going to finish the session with you guys. And I'll be here working with him if needed. Let's see, per JobScan, 85%. Oh, okay, Vivian brought up a point in here. 85% match is ideal. I tailored my resume with an internship at a healthcare company and only got 25% match. Long way to go. There is something that I saw a presentation from one of our career coaches, and please do not be discouraged by this silly number, guys. Do not, because people here do get jobs without experience. So don't get discouraged just by it. A lot of times the ideal candidate has 5 years of experience, has master degrees, but honestly telling you that a lot of people apply with much less than ideal of what the employer is asking for. And by the experience that they have, personalities, so many different stories, they are able to have a better outcome than you would be discouraged for reading through the numbers. So sometimes it's better to ignore that. Just tailor to your resume to the best you can. All right, Chad, you have the floor. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Is everyone able to hear me correctly?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. So we're gonna go about tailoring for industry-specific requirements, right? That's honestly a little bit what y'all talked beforehand. If you're trying to get a healthcare role, I'm sure some residency hours are required, right? So when we're talking about being in the technology field, if you're going to be a programmer, obviously you need to know some kind of programming language, right? There's no really standard, because there's so many rules in technology, is that whatever you want to go for, I will consider training for what it is. Whether it's a programmer, you're gonna learn a language. If you're going for cloud, I will learn some cloud technologies, just like we're doing now. We're eventually going to get into AWS, and a little bit after AWS, we're going to get into Azure. So it will be good to know some stuff about that. If you're going into security, into a security role, it'll be good if you learn a little bit, not only about security, but also about hacking as well, and how that works. So I feel that that's fairly simple and fairly standard for the course, right? What we're going to do now is an activity. We're going to do a peer review of our resumes, and I'm also going to give you a sample job to look over while you are in these groups. So how this is going to work is that I'm going to give you a sheet. I'm going to share that to chat really quick. Just close here. I mean, before it gets to it. Sure. There. My copy. All right, I'm just gonna share this really quick. Make a copy of it, or you can download it. Either one is fine. It's gonna be peer feedback guidelines, which you're also gonna do within these groups. I think there's also another link. Okay, so I'm gonna complete a peer review. Goal is to give each other recommendations on your tailored resumes, and as well as proofread them and format them for spelling as well. We know, generation knows that it's difficult to think of a comment for someone else's writing, especially when we're talking about resumes and being constructive and suggestions. So that link should help a little bit. So we're gonna have you be. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you heard it, but that was pretty loud. So I'm gonna also put in the chat box a sample job posting. Once y'all in these groups, you're gonna take that job posting. You're gonna read it. You're gonna take time to read it, and then two, three participants should probably be 2, 3 to a group. Have to identify the keywords to describe the experience and training required for that job posting. You're also gonna get your resume, and from that job posting, try to align it with that. So one of the job postings I got was from a random job for a regular junior cloud practitioner, well, cloud engineer. Now, everything from that job posting, you may not need if you try to get a job, be a junior cloud engineer somewhere else, but this is just for this one job. And it's a little bit of a good basis. Let me just go ahead and share that other link in the chat as well while I'm at it. Okay. So I know I pretty much gave you a lot of stuff, so I'm going to go over it pretty much again. You're going to be sharing your resume with your partners, maybe 2 or 3 people in this group. So y'all gonna have to take turns sharing your resume. You're gonna silently review your partner's resume and give feedback according to the feedback guidelines. You're gonna take turns giving verbal feedback. Same with everyone else in that group. There'll probably be either 2 to 3 people, depending on how these groups end up. After that, you're gonna read over the sample job and see what stuff will be relevant to being the job a junior cloud engineer, and try to align that with your resume the best you can. After that, we'll come back and debrief and talk about it. Does everyone understand that? I can't see any reactions. So if you could put in chat if you understand, that would be great. Also, I can't see everyone videos either, just because I'm presenting the way I am. Okay, I'm saying yes, good to go. Yes, understood. All right. I'm going to stop screen sharing and I'm going to make the room. So give me 1 minute.
Let me know if you need help, Chad.
Okay, appreciate the comment. Should not take that long. I might have to do some moving around as well, depending on how these come up. One, two, three. All right. All right, so most of the groups are gonna have 3 people. If you have 2 people, don't worry. I'll try to move around some people. I'll try to move some people around. Or if you're in a room by yourself, don't worry, just wait. I'll put somebody in that room for you. Okay, rooms are open. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17. Okay. So, 17.
Stop the recording there or pause it?
Yeah.
All right, restarted it.
All right, sounds good. Oh, right. I'm gonna call on a few people to share what y'all learned about reviewing each other's resumes really quick. So I'm just gonna pick at random. Jesus Diaz, what have you learned from reviewing another's resume?
One of the things that I learned is how important it is to have contact information on the resume. You have to have employers be able to contact you. One of the other things that I liked was how Alman had his resume formatted.
Good. That's good. What was some of the feedback that you gave?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So what was sorry, maybe need to put this closer. What was some of the feedback you gave? You can pick anything that you gave feedback on.
The part that I gave feedback on was putting the contact information on the resume.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
uh,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. That's good. Bishop, what do you learn from reviewing another's resume?
Quite a lot. So I had my resume when I built it out. I took a lot of the things that I had done for work and at my school, but the folks I was with pointed out I didn't really include a lot of points of like what I actually did to make to stand out. Like I just again put what I did, but I didn't say, oh, I excelled in this or I did this for this company. And I also definitely like I was looking at the other people's resume in my group, mine is very condensed, it's wordy, it is not pleasing to the eye at all. The other folks I had, again, they've had their technical skills at the top, and then they hit on all their certifications and experience, and then the job experience that they had when they defined it, it was clear and concise. So definitely like a short, like primary thing. And I didn't even have my technical skills listed on my resume, which is like a big no-no. So definitely
Right.
putting the technical skills at the top to highlight what you know, definitely something that I took away from that, and also just kind of condensing it a little bit more to make it easier to the eye to read, because like the resume is like going to be the first impression that someone gets of you. Like I think Elka pointed out perfectly, like you're advertising yourself.
So most definitely. Company, yeah. No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yep, that's my takeaway from it.
All right. Most definitely. Remember, it's about you. It's about you. Some of your accomplishments. The company wants to know about you and what you've done. The more you've done for the company, or whatever you help the company succeed, the better. Again, I like that you said something like your resume was too wordy. Remember, even though when you put resumes out online, AI is considering which ones get to the next. Remember, our HR department also gets to look at them, and they have to go through I don't know how many resumes, and yours too wordy, they're just gonna skim and just kind of pass over. You have to kind of hit that sweet spot of getting your details out there, but also hitting straight to the point. Right, because it'll be something else. They don't. Nobody wants to just go by a resume and read an essay. They want short and concise and straight to the point. Do you fit this job description? Yeah, you do. All right, cool. On to the next point.
Also, never use the word I. Make sure you speak with action verbs when you're describing your responsibilities. If you've ever put the word I or me or somehow put it in the first tense, that's another no-no where right away it just doesn't look right for the hiring managers. And it doesn't matter what you put at that point, they just go on to the next one. So very careful.
Definitely. So what are some suggestions to further improve your editing skills? Sydney Thompson, do you have any suggestions?
For my editing skills, or just in general?
Just in general.
I would say action statements, and I don't know, just make sure you have your bullet points and put some of the ones that match up with the job.
I'm sorry, Sydney, I could barely hear you. Do you mind repeating that?
You said to have the bullet points with the skills that match with the job. Can I just add that?
I say you should have the points with skills that match the job that you're applying for.
Yeah, most definitely having
Chad.
the skills that go, yeah.
So there is one also check some more updated resumes out there, examples, samples of IT resumes, because, for example, the bullet points take a lot of space in your resume. So usually I don't like to use much. So I'm gonna write on the chat what I do. It's an example.
Most definitely taking maybe some more experienced people than you and take it away from their resume. A skill that you know about. Let me be clear on that. And putting it in the way that they formatted could also help you as well. Just as a quick tip, don't put anything on your resume you don't know about. Even though it may help you look good and it may help you get in the office, they're gonna ask about it. I guarantee you they will ask about it and they will grill you on it. Everything you put on your resume, they expect you to know.
It's fair game.
Everything
You
is
put
fair
it on
game.
that document, and at that point, it's fair game. Another another good
I'm
thing
sorry,
you
Diego.
could do, I was telling the group that I went into, one of the rooms that I went into, is looking at the posting of the job itself, looking at what is it, the responsibilities that person is going to be coming into, and then just grabbing, not the verbatim, but grabbing those little statements of responsibilities, job description and responsibilities, and rephrasing them in, again, those action verb statements, not in like me or I, but making sure you rephrase it so that you could use it. Because a lot of the times, for instance, I think one of them was troubleshooting something. I'm again trying to verbatim, I'm not going to say, but was troubleshooting and fixing and diagnosing electrical equipment. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly electrical equipment, but this person was troubleshooting, diagnosing. Those are key things that you need to know within the IT field. So looking for those responsibilities or skills, key skills that they're looking for, are sometimes very beneficial. So just make sure we still have where we worked at, the date from when we started, when we ended, right? The position's name, but that little bullet points or the things that's right under there, look at the position. See, did you do any of those things that they're asking for on that job? If you did, then bring it in and remove the other fluff that had to do with the other position that you applied to. Hopefully that makes sense for anybody. So always look at the job posting, see what other responsibilities I'm looking for. If you happen to have done it on that position, if you really did it and know what it is, then you can put it.
Yeah, most definitely. So here's some final tips. Ignore the generation copyright at the bottom before you submit it, because there is no generation copyright. So do another round of formatting and spelling checks. Read your resume out loud. That often expose errors. Make sure you save your resume as a PDF, and make sure it has a professional file name. Best option is full name resume. Do that. Don't worry, this isn't the last time we're going to be doing resumes here. And eventually our coach will give a really in-depth look on the resume as well. Also, if you want, message your TA and we'll also take a look at your resume and give you some tips and pointers. And, we'll set up a time for that.
Have have an email that is not Diggs696 or Pepe Le Pew at IT. No, my friends, please, it's not going to work. You're laughing, but I did it myself. Wasn't even thinking about it. Put my personal email. Little did I even think at one point that they were going to say anything about it, because it's my personal email. Hence, wasn't getting callbacks. Seems like my gamer tag wasn't very helpful. Doesn't matter what my stats are in Xbox. I had to come up and actually grow up and learn to put the correct thing. Put your first and last name, or first initial, last name, something that identifies with you. please do not use some of your emails that you guys registered in here for this class wouldn't be an acceptable email if you're applying for a job. Believe it or not, these are little things that they look for. All things that they're looking for out there.
Also, make sure your profile picture is appropriate.
Mhm.
Your,
And
your
for some
email
stupid reason, if you're
profile
not in
picture.
LinkedIn, you don't exist anymore. And talking about LinkedIn, stay away, my friend. That's not Facebook. Stay as professional as possible. Yes, you will find people treating LinkedIn as Facebook. Let them. They're going to fail. You, my friend, you will make sure you don't repost all those little cute little things that everybody's doing inside Facebook. If it's something to do with IT, fine and dandy. Something to do with Junior Cloud or security, post the little document that pertains to the IT field. But you best bet I'm not going to show the little cute little dog that's licking the cat. That's got nothing to do with LinkedIn, unless if I'm some type of veterinarian or happen to be taking care of dogs and cats. Make sense? Because there is that type of nonsense. Don't like it. Don't hit curious or any on those things. This is a professional website where you need to stay as professional as possible. The moment they see you clowning around in there, they read it. Believe it or not, a lot of these managers, they've got nothing to do except for look at those things and look at your profile and how it is in Facebook, what you got in YouTube, wherever it is, and see how you're presenting yourself out there. So careful with the picture from Halloween with God only knows what you guys did on 1900s. Make sure none of that is out there in Facebook or any of these places. Because in the IT field, they will find it. I've seen plenty of teachers out in the news, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it, where they get fired. Because somebody posted something on Facebook of something personal they did on their own time.
Most definitely. So, final steps, closing.
A question for Diego.
Yep, sure.
Okay, so Diego, speaking to email address has to be professional, like your name and your last name right there. So when I try to create the email, I think, I don't know, maybe my name is popular, like using my mail, my name and last name, or I put that, it doesn't let me. I try to create it, but is there any optional way that I can make it professional, my email address besides my name and my last name?
You could use numbers after that, but please refrain from any number that can be misinterpreted. I wouldn't use like one, obviously I wouldn't use my birth date. That's one thing I wouldn't use, but I wouldn't use any number that may be texted as a bad word or a phrase. If you guys that know beepers like 43, right? I wouldn't use 43. I wouldn't use 69. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be as clear as possible here. If you use something that looks weird or can be misinterpreted, will get you into trouble.
Thank you.
Not a problem. You can use any odd numbers you want as long as it doesn't look wrong. On mine, I used, I think it was 98 and SR for senior because I had to create a number and 98 wasn't working. That was a number. I tried a whole bunch of other numbers. And I said, you know what? Let me just throw SR in the back for senior. And it took it. So it's just trying to find the emails that it'll let you do.
I have to do a little research before I put that because I don't know the number what representing to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's not too many numbers out there that don't mean too much, but as long as you don't use, I would say, 13, 69, 43, there's several numbers you can't use.
Diego, some people are asking, and me too, what is wrong with 43? Are we out of the loop?
I think no one knows what a beeper is. Okay.
Uh-oh,
Beepers were those little digit things that you could only use, like if it was a calculator, you could only really just beep somebody a phone number. 43 is a bad word, starts with an F, ends with a U.
I know what you mean. No, that's funny.
Yeah. So you got to be careful because it will be misinterpreted, especially by us old folks, if you put numbers that are not appropriate. For instance, if you guys want to know one cool one, try 06310. Spells Diego, by the way, if you flip the calculator around. That's how old I am, my friends. I can type with a calculator.
Right. So basically, same information I was giving y'all beforehand. Y'all are gonna have a career coach session, a few, in this class. So I know you're anxious, but just wait on it. Also, you're eventually gonna be uploading your completed resume to Canvas and Handshake. Again, not right now. So just wait a bit. I thank y'all for your participation. We're gonna go ahead and go on with Suba, with our VSM.
We're taking a break or continuing?
Do we have time for a break?
We definitely not have. In fact, with this given time, I'll not be able to even finish